April 16, 2020 to order. We have roll call.
Mr. Caparelli?
Here.
Mr. Cox?
I think they're on mute.
Oh.
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah.
Let's start over. Let's start over, Pat.
Okay. Okay, we'll start back at the top. We're calling roll. Mr. Caparelli?
Here.
Mr. Cox?
Here.
Mr. Crompton?
Here.
Mr. Dillon?
Here.
Ms. Fide?
Here.
Mr. Kella?
Here.
Mr. Macedet?
Here.
Mr. Moore?
Here.
Mr. Rusinellis?
Here.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, we do have a quorum.
Sounds good.
Our next item on the agenda is approval of the February 20, 2020 Plan Commission and the February 24, 2020 Special Plan Commission minutes.
Can I get a motion? Actually, is there any questions on this minutes from anybody? So can I get a motion for both sets of minutes from somebody?
I make a motion to adopt the minutes. Approve the minutes.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
I'm sorry.
Give your name.
When you're on the phone, please give your name. Who was the second?
Mark.
Thank you.
Roll call?
Mr. Caparelli.
Aye.
Mr. Cox.
Aye.
Mr. Crompton.
Aye.
Mr. Dillon.
All right.
Ms. Fide.
Aye.
Mr. Kella.
Aye.
Mr. Macedet.
Aye.
Mr. Moore.
Aye.
Mr. Rusinellis.
Aye.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, the next item on our agenda is citizens to be heard on agenda items. I do believe we had one person that called in that wanted to speak on P620 and FP320, and that is the Chicagoland Speedway subdivision. That item is actually going to be tabled, so therefore there would be no need to have the caller at this time.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, our next agenda item is old business under public hearing. We have no items. Under old business, no public hearing, we have no items. We'll move on to new business public hearing. And the first item is A-5-20. And just bear with me for a moment while I find the,
Was that one going to be withdrawn?
let's see here, is that
That's a
one?
brand-
Yes, I'm sorry.
I have a note.
That one is being withdrawn. There's no need for a motion, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Our next item is Z-1-20, and that is the reclassification of 0.95 acres located at the southwest corner of Mound Road and Hollywood Road from I-2, and that's general industrial, to I-1, light industrial zoning. The applicant in this matter is DSP Acquisitions, LLC, and we should have the petitioner on the line. Okay, unavailable?
He was on there.
Okay, was there any?
Left him a message. He was not able to answer it.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, what we'll do is, since we don't have the petitioner on the line for this one, we'll hold that and move on.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, our next item is P-2-20, and FP-1-20. That is the reapproval of the preliminary plat of Joliet Logistics Park subdivision, and the FP-1-20 case is the final plat for Joliet Logistics Park subdivision Phase 2. The applicant in this matter is Versus Partners LLC, represented by Chris Brocolo. Do we have the applicant on the line? Okay, we do have a representative on the line. If you can hold while we get through the staff report, the chairman will swear you in after the reading of the report. Thank you. The status of the applicant is contract purchaser and developer. The owner is Route 53 Land LLC. Requested action, reapproval of a preliminary plat and approval of final plat. The purpose is to allow the continued development of a 10-lot industrial subdivision. Existing zoning, I-1 light industrial and B3 general business. Location is Route 53 and Millsdale Road. Size of the parcel is 298 acres, existing land use, industrial, and undeveloped. Surrounding land use and zoning, to the north is Route 66, Speedway, and I-1 zoning, that's light industrial, City of Joliet. To the south, residential and undeveloped, R1, I1, and unincorporated Will County. To the east is undeveloped, unincorporated Will County. To the west is residential and undeveloped, R1B and R3, as well as unincorporated Will County. Under site history, the preliminary plat was approved in October of 2007. The final and recording plat for Phase 1 was approved in August 2008, but was never recorded. A variance that allowed a one-year extension on the preliminary plat was approved in December 2009, and reapproval of the preliminary plat for an additional 3 years was approved in January 2011 and again in March 2014. The recording plat of Phase 1A was approved in July 2016. Under special information, the effective period of the preliminary plat for Joliet Logistics Park subdivision has expired, and the petitioner wishes reapproval of the preliminary plat in order to allow the continued development of the industrial park at this time. The proposed development and layout remain the same as what was originally approved, which proposed the creation of 10 industrial lots on 298 acres. Lot 6, which is 10 acres, contains a portion of the existing stormwater retention area. Additional stormwater retention is located on Lot 4, which also includes an existing 1 million square foot warehouse and distribution facility. Lot 5 currently has a proposal for a 490,000 square foot distribution facility that is shown on the attached plats. This lot is the subject of the Phase 2 final plat request.
Line unmuted.
The other 7 buildable lots vary in size from 2.73 acres to 57.3 acres. There are no known development proposals for the remaining lots as of the writing of this staff report. All public improvements will be provided for as per the zoning ordinance, subdivision regulations, and the requirements of the Public Works and Utilities departments. Public improvements will include a 5-foot wide sidewalk along Route 53, as well as a traffic signal at Millsdale Road and Route 53. Sewer and water tap-on fees, the sewer and water surcharge fee, and the development impact fee will be required. And that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
Do we have the petitioner online? Or on the phone?
We do have Joseph Hammer on.
Joseph Hammer?
Hey, Kendall, how long is this approval for? Is it, if it doesn't go forward? The other one, he had a 1 year, then he had a 3 year, then he had another 3 year. Is this another 3 year extension?
Yeah, this would be a 3-year extension. Mr. Hammer, are you on the line? Mr. Hammer?
Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Joe Hammer, Rudiger, Tonelli and Associates.
Okay.
Okay, do you have anything else to add? What are they doing here that has to keep coming back? Could you tell me that much, Mr. Hammer?
Sure. So what had happened was that they had nobody interested in the property and until recently, and the preliminary plat essentially
Yes, okay.
ran out the approval. So we're back here. We have somebody interested in lot 5 for the approximate 500,000 square foot warehouse building, and we need to get the preliminary plat reapproved, and then also looking for the final plat in the next petition for lot 5.
And currently you have no water or sewer going to that particular plat? So you'd have to put that in?
No, there is water and sewer in Millsdale Road adjacent to lot 4. It is stubbed at the west property line of lot 5, and with the final plat and the development of lot 5, the water and sewer would be extended through the frontage of lot 5.
Okay. Ken, so if we approve this, how long will this go for? I didn't catch the answer.
3 years is,
Another 3 years
that's what he said.
for everything?
Mr.
Okay.
Chairman.
Do any of the commissioners have any questions they'd like to ask?
Yeah, Rick Moore. The tentative proprietor that you're talking to, unless it's contractual, what type of business is it?
To my knowledge, it's a warehouse use. I'm not familiar exactly with who the company is.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Do we have anybody in opposition to this on the line, Kendall?
We had no callers on this.
Okay.
All right, I would make a motion to approve. Jim Caparelli.
Jim Caparelli, is there somebody who would like to make a second motion? Beck?
Second, John Keller.
Okay. Can we get roll call then? We get a motion to approve P-2-20 and FP-1-20.
Mr. Caparelli?
Aye.
Mr. Cox?
Aye.
Mr. Crompton?
Aye.
Mr. Dillon?
Aye.
Ms. Fide?
Aye.
Mr. Kella?
Aye.
Mr. Masetich?
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Mr. Roussenelis?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay. Next.
Okay, get my bearings straight here.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, the next item on our agenda is P-2-20 and FP-1-20. P-2-20 is the reapproval of the preliminary plat for Joliet Logistics Park subdivision.
Isn't that what we just did?
Oh,
We just
it
did
is.
that.
So we just did that one.
Just approved
Okay,
that.
I'm sorry.
So now we got
Moving on to A6.
DA-6-20.
Okay, sorry.
It's all right.
Yeah, I can't find that report now.
You can wait.
I'm sorry, A7.
Jeff Hollywood. Want to get A520.
P7.
Are you looking at D,
D1. Next one up is
A-6-20? Is that going to be tabled, the corner of Route 6 and Galgo Road?
No, I think
It says
that's,
to be tabled right here.
is it, okay. A-6-20 is to be tabled,
Okay, I make a motion to table.
and that's, I believe that's to May 21st.
Is that, I have a question. Is A720, are they all connected? A7?
Yes, A-6-20, A-7-20, and P-3-20 are all, I'm sorry, as well as FP-2-20. They're all
Okay.
together.
I would make a motion to table it.
Jim Caparelli made a motion. Do we have a second?
Yeah, Mark Brisnell seconded.
Okay, can we have roll call then, please?
Okay. Mr. Caparelli,
Aye.
Mr. Cox,
Aye.
Mr. Crompton,
Aye.
Mr. Dillon,
Aye.
Ms. Fide,
I,
Mr. Kella,
Aye.
Mr. Masetich,
Aye.
Mr. Moore,
Aye.
Mr. Rousseau-Ellis.
Aye.
Okay, those cases are tabled to the May 21st Plan Commission meeting.
Hopefully they'll be in person.
Okay, our next item is P-4-20, and that is the preliminary plat of Bell Tire, which is a minor subdivision. Do we have the petitioner, the applicant, on the line? Okay. The applicant in this matter is Christopher N. Wright, who is the architect. Owners, Zerkes Limited Partnership 2, requested action is approval of preliminary plat of subdivision. The purpose is to create 2 commercial lots for future development. Existing zoning is B-3, which is general business. Location 1301 Route 59. Size is 2.6 acres, currently undeveloped commercial land. Surrounding land use and zoning. To the north is commercial B3, to the south is commercial, Village of Shorewood, and B4, Village of Shorewood, which is their B4 Automotive Service District zoning. East is residential R2, City of Joliet. To the west is commercial B3, that's general business in the City of Joliet. Site history, the subject property was annexed, zoned I-1 light industrial, and approved with an annexation agreement in August 1989. An amendment to the annexation agreement was approved in August 1991. It was reclassified to B3 in 2003 as part of the Walmart subdivision that created 11 lots on 40 acres. A special use permit request was heard at the Zoning Board of Appeals meeting earlier today for a Bell Tire facility on future Lot 1. Access to the site will be achieved through existing curb cuts on Route 59 and Theodore Street, and cross-access easements in the Walmart subdivision. Under special information, the petitioner is requesting approval of the 2-lot minor subdivision in order to accommodate a Bell Tire store on Lot 1 and a future unknown commercial use on Lot 2. Lot 1 will include 1.4 acres and Lot 2 will include 1.3 acres. Bell Tire installs tires and parts related to tires and wheels, as well as doing other minor automotive repair work at their facility. The new 10,000 square foot building will be constructed with brick veneer. It will be located on site so that 10 bay doors will face north towards the Friaco's Mexican restaurant building. The proposal for 60 off-street parking spaces and 10 service bays are acceptable and meets the parking regulations for this type of use. The proposed subdivision and development plans will comply with the B3 zoning ordinance, the non-residential design standards, and the landscape ordinance. All public improvements will be required as per the subdivision regulations. and the requirements of the Public Works and Utilities Departments. Sewer and water connection fees and development impact fees will be required as part of the future building permits. And that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Kendall. Do we have Mr. Enright on the phone still?
We do, yes.
Mr. Enright, do you have anything further you'd like to add to this?
The only amendment that I'd like to make is that as part of the ZBA meeting previously, or BZA meeting previously, is that we agreed to install a number of landscape islands which will reduce the amount of parking spaces by, we're not sure the number yet, but it'll be still in compliance with the parking requirements.
Okay. Are there any questions from the commissioners on this?
Yeah, I got one, Rick Moore. What are the hours of operation, and is there any outside overnight parking for disabled vehicles?
The hours of operation are Mondays from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesday and Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., Thursday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., Friday 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturday 8 a.m. till 5 p.m., Sunday they are closed. So they're open two evenings till 8, the rest of the week it's till 6, and then 5 on Saturdays. There is no outdoor storage, there is no outdoor display, there's no outdoor storage of tires, scrap storage of tires on the exterior of the building. And wherever there are cars that are to be serviced overnight, if they are dropped off or if they are taken in during the course of the evening by the sales group, then those vehicles are inside. So during business hours, when these vehicles can be put inside the building, they are put inside the building.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Wasn't one of the questions, Ricky, handicap space? Were there handicap spaces in the parking lot?
Yes, there are barrier-free spaces in the parking lot, 1 per 25, so being that there's more than 50 spaces, there are 3 barrier-free spaces provided.
Okay, all right, thank you. Do we have any opposition to this, or anybody that'd like to speak on the phones?
We had no callers on this particular case, Mr. Chairman.
In that case,
I'll make a motion to approve. Jim Caparelli.
do we have a second?
John Kettle, second.
Okay, can we get roll call then?
Mr. Caparelli?
Aye.
Mr. Cox?
Aye.
Mr. Crompton?
Aye.
Mr. Dillon?
Aye.
Ms. Fide?
Aye.
Mr. Kella?
Aye.
Mr. Massetti?
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Mr. Roussenelis?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, I'm sorry, that was for P-4-22, by the way, I'm sorry.
Yes. The first one, A520. I'll come back. If you can bring it up, I'll come back to that one. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Chairman, our next item is P-5-20, and that is the preliminary plat of First Presbyterian Church, which is a minor subdivision. The applicant in this matter is the church, First Presbyterian. They are also the property owner. They are asking for approval of a 2-lot subdivision. The purpose is to sell an existing single-family house. Existing zoning is R2, single-family residential. Location, 806 Buell Avenue. The size of the 2 existing lots together are 23,226 square feet. Existing land use is single-family home and also a portion of the parking lot. Surrounding land use and zoning to the north is residential R2, to the south R2, to the east R2, and to the west residential R2 as well. We have no previous cases under site history. And before I move on, do we have the petitioner on the line? Thank you. Under special information, First Presbyterian, thank you. First Presbyterian Church of Joliet seeks to subdivide the church parsonage located at 806 Buell Avenue from the church parking lot to the rear of the home in order to sell the house at 806 Buell to a private party. In addition, the church seeks to combine the parking lot parcel located to the rear of 810 Buell with the resultant parking lot parcel located behind 806 Buell Avenue. The subdivision will result in a 8,892 square foot house parcel indicated as Lot 1 and a 14,244 square foot parking lot parcel indicated as Lot 2. The house parcel at 806 Buell would be 93 feet wide by 97 feet deep. Both lots would retain their R2 single-family residential zoning. The alley that runs to the south of the subject parcel will be the subject of a future vacation request coming from our Public Works Department. And the proposal conforms to the land use within the area and to the requirements of the subdivision regulations and the city's Public Works and Utilities Department. There are no public improvements, landscaping, sewer, and water connection fees, and the developer's impact fees that will be required at this time because there are no redevelopment plans. So no fees will be made part of this request. And that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Kendall. Do we have the petitioner still online then, please? Could you state your name?
Yes, Craig Herr, Senior Pastor at First Presbyterian Church.
Okay. Couple questions. So you're gonna take the lot and give the parking to the house, right?
No.
No.
No, we're going to keep the lot for the church as it is and has been since 95, 96.
Okay, I'm sorry. And
When it
you're
was approved by
separating,
the city that we could have the lot there.
and then you're separating the house from the lot. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yes, yeah, we want to separate the house, and there's a young couple that wants to buy it and make it their home and, renovate it, and
Pretty house.
so we're very excited about that and think that, it's a nice house and has a lot of potential, and they know, they're good at remodeling, and it'll be, even better and given a long, long life, so.
Very good.
Which we think is good for us and good for all the neighbors and good for them too.
Yeah. Any questions from any of the commissioners on this P-5-20?
No.
Okay, is there any opposition or anybody on the phone that wishes to go talk against it?
Mr. Chairman, we have no callers.
We have no callers. Can I get a motion then on,
I would motion to approve. Jim Caparelli.
can we get a second, please?
Second, John Kello.
Call roll, please.
Okay, bear with me a moment. First Pres Church. Caparella. Who was the second? I'm sorry.
Kello.
John Keller.
Kella.
John Kello.
Thank you. Mr. Caparelli.
Aye.
Mr. Cox.
Aye.
Mr. Crompton.
Aye.
Mr. Dillon.
Aye.
Miss Fide.
Aye.
Mr. Kella.
Aye.
Mr. Masetich.
Aye.
Mr. Moore. Mr. Moore.
Aye.
Mr. Rusinellis.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Very good.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, the next item on the agenda, the Chicagoland Speedway subdivision, as well as the final plat. The request is to table that item to the July 16th meeting. I do believe we had someone that registered to be called on this. But given that it's going to be tabled, we can have staff have that person call in at the appropriate time on the 16th.
Well, let's hope we're all in here together.
Right.
So that will table that one and FP 3-20 also, and HZ 2-20.
I motion to,
Right.
No,
That would be P6-20, P6-20 and FP-3-20. Those are the
Those are the
two
two,
that
yeah.
are subject to the
Do we have a
table.
motion on the floor to table that then?
Jim Caparelli, I motion to table.
Do we have a second?
Mark Russo, second.
Who was that? Second.
That was Mark Rusinellis.
Okay, Mark.
Mr. Caparelli,
Aye.
Mr. Cox,
Aye.
Mr. Crompton,
Aye.
Mr. Dillon,
Aye.
Ms. Fide,
Aye.
Mr. Kella,
Aye.
Mr. Macetic,
Aye.
Mr. Moore,
Aye.
Mr. Rusinellis.
Aye.
Motion carries. These two cases will be tabled to the July 16th Plan Commission hearing.
July 16th? Okay.
July 16th, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Our next item is Z-2-20. In that item, the request is for a tabling to May 21st.
Jim Caparelli, I make a motion to table.
Do we have a second? Do I have a second from one of the commissioners for Z-2-20 to table this?
Second, Jason Cox.
Thank you, Jason.
Mr. Caparelli,
Aye.
Mr. Cox,
Aye.
Mr. Crompton,
Aye.
Mr. Dillon,
Aye.
Ms. Fide,
Aye.
Mr. Kella,
Aye.
Mr. Macetic,
Aye.
Mr. Moore,
Aye.
Mr. Rusinellis.
Aye.
Petition Z-2-20 will be tabled to the May 21st Plan Commission hearing.
Very good.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, the next item on our agenda is P-7-20. And that is the revised preliminary plat of Clarius Park subdivision. The applicant in this matter is Clarius Partners LLC. Do we have the applicant on the line?
Yes, we do.
Thank you.
Yes, hi, good afternoon. This is Tyler Tammer with Clarius Partners.
Thank you, Mr. Tamaru. We will read the report and then come back to you. Just hold. Clarius Partners is the developer. The owner is HD Park Joliet Land LLC. Requested action, reapproval of a revised preliminary plat. Purpose is to develop 4 industrial lots and 7 outlots. Existing zoning is I-2 General Industrial. Location, northwest corner of Youngs Road and Amical Road. Size is 184 acres. Existing land use industrial. Surrounding land use and zoning, to the north is industrial I-1, To the south is industrial unincorporated Will County, I-3. To the east is undeveloped I-2. To the west is undeveloped Village of Shanahan, I-1. Under site history, the mayor and city council approved the preliminary plat in August 2007 and the recording plat for Phase 1 in August 2009. Reapproval of the preliminary plat of subdivision was approved in 2010, 2014, and 2017 for 3-year periods. The petitioner is requesting the reapproval of the revised preliminary plat in order to allow for the continued development of Clarius Industrial Park. The proposed development and layout will effectively remain the same as what was last approved in 2017, except for some minor changes to some lot sizes and building sizes. Lot 1 currently contains a 1 million square foot warehouse that was previously built in 2012 and is occupied by Whirlpool. Lots 2 through 4 will range in size from 14.4 acres to 45.5 acres, and the building footprints will range from a proposed 256,000 square feet to 906,000 square feet. As part of the preliminary plat, there are 7 outlots that are part of the overall storm detention system and are not buildable. All public improvements will be required as per the subdivision regulations and Public Works and Utilities Department. This development will feature a new realignment of Youngs Road that will provide better access to the distribution center and improve traffic flow from existing Youngs Road to existing Amico Road. Phase 1 public improvements included partial reconstruction of the newly realigned Youngs Road, and future Phase 2 improvements will complete the realignment. Stormwater detention and landscaping will also be provided for as per the previously approved plans. And that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Kendall. Can we have the petitioner, would you give your name again one more time, please?
Yes, good afternoon. Taivo Tamaru with Clarius Partners.
Okay, Mr. Tubby, you have anything else to add?
And I believe actually we have thank you. I was going to say we have our civil engineer, Jason Weisbrook with Spaceco on as well, if there's any technical questions. No, I think very...
Go ahead.
Yes, this is Taivo again with Clarius. I thank you very much. We appreciate the city's willingness to entertain and conduct business in this unique scenario very much. I think just to summarize it, even a little bit more of the same, our concept really hasn't changed. Ultimately, the nuance that Kendall referenced in terms of the prior plat that was approved from this one, the building 2 in the middle now shows up today as a 906,000 square foot footprint. Before it was 828,000 square feet. Ultimately, that's just a reaction to some of the market feedback we've received that inevitably this location is I think its profile and its success is only rising and elevating. And what we're hearing is, bigger is still better. So our prior plan had allowed a little more room for some additional circulation and potentially thought that maybe this would be more likely a multi-tenant building. Realistically, we think the larger footprint will be more attractive to bigger users, of course, if it's not that much different. And accordingly, the building has been enlarged to accommodate that. And then as a consequence, building number 3 off to the east of building 2 is a little bit smaller. But philosophically, the development plan remains the same, and very much appreciate Joliet considering to keep the preliminary plat alive for another few years as we move forward.
Okay. Do you have some clients right now that are just going to go in there then when you build this?
Currently, we do not. We do not have a tenant identified for obviously a continual and marketing effort that goes on nonstop. We do chase after build-to-suits, but as I speak to you today, we don't have a tenant identified for any remaining buildings at this time.
Okay, thank you. And the road, the Youngs Road was going to be realigned? Is that correct?
Yes, so well, it'll be reconstructed. Its configuration, I guess, and its geometry won't be dramatically different, but our obligation in concert with the completion of another building in the park, as I understand, is we will need to rebuild. Right now, we've got it was originally a cul-de-sac built into the park that was allowed to be extended to connect to Youngs Road. If we move forward with another building, we would need to be planning to reconstruct Youngs Road from that connection point up to Cavalier.
And you're going to endure
The drawings have
that
been done,
cost.
so I know we've got, I'm sorry?
And you're going to endure that cost, correct? You're paying for that part, right?
Yeah, yeah, right. The reconstruction of that Youngs Road section will be on the development, yes.
Are there any other questions from any of the commissioners?
No.
Okay. Kendall, do we have anybody on the phone in opposition to this at all, or?
There are no callers on this case, Mr. Chairman.
In that case, can I get a motion on this?
Jim Caparella, I motion to approve.
John Callow, goes.
Okay,
Mark Rusnell, second.
we'll take a roll call.
No.
Mr. Caparelli,
Aye.
Mr. Cox,
Aye.
Mr. Crompton,
Aye.
Mr. Dillon,
Aye.
Ms. Fide,
Aye.
Mr. Kella,
Aye.
Mr. Macetic,
Aye.
Mr. Moore,
Aye.
Mr. Roussanellis.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And that is for P-7-20, I'm sorry again.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, we will go back to the top. I do believe we have the petitioner now present online for Z-1-20. And that is the reclassification of 0.95 acres located at the southwest corner of Mound Road and Hollywood Road from I-2 General Industrial to I-1 Light Industrial Zoning. The applicant in this matter is DSP Acquisitions, LLC. They are the contract purchaser and developer. The owner is Reclamation Development Corporation. Requested action, approval of a zoning reclassification to provide conformance of zoning with adjacent companion piece of property for future development. Existing zoning is I-2 General Industrial. Proposed zoning, I-1 Light Industrial. Location, southwest corner of Mound Road and Hollywood Road. Size of the parcel is 0.95 acres. Existing land use undeveloped. Surrounding land use and zoning to the north is undeveloped, B3. To the south, Railroad I-1. To the east, Industrial I-2. To the west, Industrial B3. Site history, the subject site was annexed and zoned I-2 General Industrial in 1970. It was part of a larger parcel at that time that was bisected by the Hollywood Hobolt Road reconfiguration and left as a remnant piece of undeveloped land as a result. Under special information, the petitioner is requesting approval of the zoning reclassification to I-1 in order to acquire similar zoning for the site as the adjacent 19 acres. The zoning request coincides with an anticipated development proposal of the site as a travel fueling center. There are no known users for the site at this time, but the property owners would like to get the zoning put in place in order to better market the site. The future development plans would be permitted in the I-1 zoning district. All public improvements will be required as per the subdivision regulations and the Public Works and Utilities departments. The future development would need to comply with the city's non-residential design standards and the city's landscape and screening ordinance. Sewer and water connection and development impact fees will also be required. And that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Kendall. Can we get the petitioner on the phone line here? Give your name, please.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, Mike Hanson, attorney for the petitioner. I have no further comments from the staff report.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Are there any questions from the commissioners at all on this?
Yeah, Rick Moore. Is that area sufficient for a gas station or whatever they're looking for to put in there?
Yeah, Mr. Miller, we've worked with the city of Joliet, and we have a proposed plan That'll essentially cover half of the lot, and the other half will be undeveloped at this point in time. So, you know, we work with staff to try and abide by all their the suggestions and comments. So that's where we're going.
Thanks, Mike.
Any other questions? Okay, do we have anybody on the phone that would like to speak on this?
Mr. Chairman, we have no callers on this.
See now, okay, can I get a motion for approval on this?
Jim Caparelli, I motion to approve.
I'm sorry, who's second?
I thought I heard John
Rick
Keller.
Moore, I'll second.
Oh, I'm sorry, Rick Moore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Caparelli.
Aye.
Mr. Cox.
Aye.
Mr. Crompton.
Aye.
Mr. Dillon.
Aye.
Ms. Fide.
Aye.
Mr. Keller.
Aye.
Mr. Masetich.
Aye.
Mr. Moore.
Aye.
Mr. Roussenelis.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Very good.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, we'll move right
Thank you
through.
very much.
Thank you.
We have no items under new business, no public hearing. We have no study session today. We have no items under old or new business, not for final action or recommendation. Under public comments, well, we do have 2 callers. This section is for anyone wanting to speak regarding non-agenda items and are allowed a maximum of 4 minutes.
Okay, we have 2 callers.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, who do we have queued up first?
Hello, caller on the line. You state your name.
Do we have Nicole on the line?
Hello?
Yes, is this Nicole?
Nicole?
Yes?
Could you state your full name, please?
This is Nikki Skiniotis.
Okay. And what is your comment?
This is for North Point, correct?
Is that what you want to speak on?
Yes.
Okay. This is the Plan Commission meeting. That is not on this particular agenda, but this section of the agenda is open to non-agenda items. We do have the 4-minute rule.
Okay, but is this the regular North Point meeting that's
No.
being publicized also?
No, it is not.
No.
Pardon?
No, it is not. Are you signed up to speak later?
You want to
Yeah.
speak to city council, that's
Oh,
at
you-
5:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are signed up to speak at before the city council?
Yes.
Okay. All right. They will take your comments at that time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Do we have Juan on the line?
Yeah.
Juan, could you state your full name, please?
Yes, name is Juan Cuellar, Cuellar.
Okay, Juan, we do have the 4-minute speaking rule in effect. What is your topic?
Well, yes, I want to vote yes for this project. I am a precast erector. Every meeting that I've attended for the past over a year, I've had local people tell me how would I like one of these eyesores in my backyard. Well, me being an erector, that is my life source for my family. I am a resident of Will County. I still live in Chicago. I've been in Will County for over 15 years. It's provided for my family. I've been able to provide health care, better schools, and a decent living for my family. They said, well, what about the buildings? How would you like a building in your backyard? I just erected a 1 million square foot warehouse for Diageo beverage in my backyard. it's done nothing but help my family. It's done nothing but help the community. It creates jobs. So for people to constantly throw in our faces, well, you guys put these boxes up and then you leave. Well, that's not the case. I put them up, and like I said, I've been in this area over 15 years, and I'm not going away. That is my livelihood. I'm a precast erector, I'm a union bricklayer, and I'm going to continue with my trade. And like I said, it helps, it benefits not only the community, my family, and it's going to continue. It's apprenticeship that helps everyone. It's something that keeps giving back to the community. So for people to think it's not beneficial, it is. It's more than beneficial.
Okay, Mr. Quillar, I don't believe you stated the specific topic that this was related to.
This was regarding the Compass project in North Point that
Okay.
everyone's trying to stop and block.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, if you don't mind, would you,
I'm for development.
Right.
sir, if you don't mind, that's gonna be discussed with the
So
council.
Rick Moore, I just want to say thanks to him and for speaking up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, but I believe he wants to talk at the city council
Yeah,
meeting.
I think the city council
and
would like
those-
to hear you at 5:30. They're supposed to have a phone conference here. So if you could make sure you do call back and talk to the city council themselves, they'd probably love to hear that.
Yeah. Is he signed up?
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay,
Thank you.
Mr. Quillar, we do have you signed up for the city council as well as the previous caller. So you will be called later this evening.
Okay. Yeah, I had a call screener call me and tell me to be on standby.
Okay,
Okay.
great. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Lon.
Any
Okay.
other callers?
There are no more callers, Mr. Chairman. Our next item would be adjournment. And is there a motion in order?
Jim Caprelli, I motion to adjourn.
Got a second?
Okay, sure.
Okay. All signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Callers?
Aye.
Aye. There's enough callers saying aye. Anybody opposed?
We are adjourned. Thank you.
Sure, thank you.
Maybe next time it will be.